To be successful, you have to have your heart in your business and your business in your heart. That's a quote by Thomas Watson Sr. Time is precious, time is money, and this is the time for Money Talk on Atn Business today on Atlantic Television Network. Good day, viewers, and welcome to a fresh episode of Atn Business on Atlantic Television Network right here in the city of Port Harcourt. This is the network's medium of bringing the happenings in the economic sector of the society to our discerning viewers. This program is aimed at bringing to the doorstep of viewers the business, financial, and economic activities from all strata of society. Its delivery is accentuated through the various stock exchanges across the world, news about government economic activities, private sector business activities, laced with experts' opinions, stakeholders' analysis, and correspondence reports. Headlines: Refinery rolls. Dangote accuses oil marketers of complaining to president. CBN directs POS operators to use licensed aggregators. UK watchdog flags Vodafone 3 deal issues. European stocks rise after ECB rate cuts. By the end of the show, you can be rest assured of being informed accurately of financial activities around the world. I am your host, Wendy Aguma. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll reel out the details. Don't go anywhere.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Welcome back. Now let's go into market reports, local and international business news for today. Dangote Refinery has accused oil marketers of complaining to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu about the company's diesel price drop to 900 naira per litre, claiming it negatively affects their businesses. Devakuma Edwin, Vice President of Dangote Industries Limited, revealed this on a Twitter Spaces session, stating that the refinery struggles to sell 29 tankers of diesel daily due to low patronage from local importers. As a result, the refinery exports most of its diesel and aviation fuel, despite being ready to supply PMS locally. Edwin expressed surprise at the challenges faced by the refinery, including crude supply issues and a blockade from local traders. The refinery, which commenced operations in March, has reduced diesel prices by approximately 60% and plans to begin PMS supply this month. However, it may export PMS if NNPC and other marketers refuse to purchase it. Edwin highlighted the irony of Nigeria exporting crude and importing refined products, despite the refinery's goal goal of adding value to local raw materials. The company faces challenges in getting adequate crude allocation, forcing it to import crude from outside. Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has directed all point of sale operators to route transactions through licensed payment terminal services aggregators, PTSAs. This move aims to enhance the tracking and management of electronic transactions in the country. The CBN granted a second PTSA license to Unified Payment Services Limited in April 2024, in addition to the existing license held by Nigerian Interbank Settlement System PLC since 2011. This decision addresses concerns about routing all transactions through a single aggregator. Acquirers must now channel transactions through either of the two license aggregators, while license processors must integrate with both PTSAs to provide flexibility. Payment terminal service providers must ensure their devices and applications work with any PTSA chosen by acquirers. The CBN requires monthly reports from PTSPs detailing merchants, agents, and PTSA services used, as well as transaction reports from PTSAs. These reports must be submitted within 7 days after the end of each month. The CBN has given all payment service providers 30 days to regularize their operations with the PTSAs, warning of sanctions for non-compliance. This directive follows the Corporate Affairs Commission's announcements requiring all POS operators to register with it by September 5th. The Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading PLC, NBET, has requested a 5-year renewal of its operating license from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, citing its significant contributions to the power sector. NBET's current license is set to expire on November 21, 2024. Managing Director Johnson Akinawo highlighted the company's achievements, including transparently managing a contract portfolio with an annual trading volume of over $2 billion. Akinawo emphasized NBET's role in attracting nearly $1 billion in greenfield power generation investment and managing the privatization of Power Holding Company of Nigeria assets. He also underscored the company's critical role in facilitating private sector investment through power purchase agreements and vesting contracts. NERC Commissioner Dafe Akbeneye acknowledged the importance of stakeholder input in the license renewal process, stating that the Commission values critical stakeholders' input into NBET's request. The Managing Director of Azura Energy, Edu Okeke, expressed support for an extended license renewal, noting that investors require long-term certainty. The license renewal is crucial for NBET's vision of a self-sustaining electricity market driven by private investments. With its track record of facilitating investment and managing contracts, NBET is poised to continue playing a vital role in Nigeria's power sector. The Nigerian Naira records its highest gain in nearly 2 months, appreciating by 4.8% against the US dollar after the country's debut domestic dollar bond sale. This marks the biggest jump since July 22nd, with the currency closing at 1,558 Naira per dollar on Wednesday. The bond sale attracted significant demand, with subscriptions reaching $900 million. The $500 million domestic FGN US dollar bond has a 5-year maturity and a 9.75 coupon, and is the first tranche of a $2 billion bond program registered by the Securities and Exchange Commission. The bond success has boosted investor sentiment, contributing to the Naira's recent strength against the dollar. The Minister of Finance, Wale Edu, described the bond success as a milestone in Nigeria's efforts to promote financial inclusion and deepen economic growth. Proceeds from the bond will be directed towards critical sectors of the economy, as approved by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The bond structure allows the government to absorb subscription up to the full $2 billion program limits. The debut bond issuance attracted a broad spectrum spectrum of investors, including local and diaspora Nigerians, as well as institutional investors. The Naira's appreciation is a positive sign for the economy, and the bond sale success is expected to have a lasting impact on Nigeria's financial space. The federal government has unveiled a strategic plan to generate at least $100 million and create over 2 million jobs from Nigeria's creative economy yearly. Minister of Arts, Culture and the Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, presented the government's 8-point plan and roadmap at a roundtable for local and international investors in Lagos. Despite its huge potential, Nigeria's creative industry currently contributes just $5 billion to the economy, with its different subsectors at various stages of development. Statistics show that the creative economy contributes only 1.2% to Nigeria's GDP compared to other African countries, South Africa and to achieve its ambition, the ministry has identified 14 pivotal initiatives that will drive the sector's growth and significantly boost government revenue by $10 billion to $20 billion. These initiatives are grouped under 4 unique pillars: technology, infrastructure and funding, international culture promotion, and intellectual property monetization. The minister outlined plans to provide Nigerian creatives with improved digital tools, launch the Nigerian Content Distribution Initiative, conduct a study to seize the creative industry, expand internet access in underserved region. The ministry will also establish a culture promotion office, collaborate with Nigerian embassies abroad, and leverage AFCTA to boost Nigerian creative output, export regionally and globally. Musawa believes that Nigeria's creative economy has the potential to grow by 400% by 2027, positioning the sector to leapfrog in the long term and deliver the vision for the sector. The ministry has already created several initiatives and entered collaborations toward the realization of its set goals. The federal government and the United Kingdom have signed 8 partnership agreements worth 589 million naira, £272.6 million to boost critical sectors of the Nigerian economy. The agreements were signed by the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, and the UK charged the affairs, Ms. Cynthia Rowe, in Abuja. The agreements cover various sectors, including governance, climate change, education, health, and the economy. Bagudu expressed appreciation for the UK government's support, saying it was a significant show of friendship, especially during the time of global economic uncertainty. The minister noted that some agreements would benefit not only Nigeria, but also address global issues such as health, climate change, and governance. He praised the UK's spirit of partnership and its commitment to supporting other countries despite its own economic challenges. The agreements are part of the UK's long-term commitment to Nigeria's growth and stability, with a focus on delivering honest investments, promoting sustainable economic development, and providing self-saving support in times of crisis. The agreements aim to help Nigeria attain a more stable, inclusive, resilient, healthy, prosperous polity. The signed agreements include the Human Assistance and Resilience Program, Nigerian Governance and Climate Change Program, Strengthening Peace and Resilience in Nigeria, and others, covering various sectors such as health, education, and infrastructure development. The federal government has warned that water, sanitation, and hygiene wash facilities in Nigeria are vulnerable to climate change. This was stated at a validation workshop on wash facilities, technical design, specifications, and drawings to be climate resilient in Abuja. The Federal Ministry of Water Resources, in collaboration with UNICEF, is reviewing existing wash facilities, technical designs, specifications, and drawings to ensure that take into account climate resilience and adaptation. The National Water Resources Institute was engaged to take the review. Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Water Resources, Richard Felangwa, said climate change remains the most profound challenge facing humanity. He emphasized the need for technical designs of wash facilities that meet global standards, are climate resilient, gender appropriate, and inclusive of people with disabilities. Filangwa noted that Nigeria's wash facilities are highly exposed and vulnerable to climate change, with the northern part of the country experiencing worsening drought conditions and declining groundwater levels, while the central and northern regions suffer from irregular rainfall and flash floods. The UNICEF WASH manager, Chirajibi Tiwari, noted that sanitation facilities are becoming unusable due to climate change. The director of Water Supply and Support Services, Mukalai Babarinde, added that flooding is destroying water facilities primarily because they are located on floodplains that can easily be washed away. The Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, MWUN, has expressed displeasure over the continuous delay in the renewal of terminal operators' licenses, stating that it is negatively impacting port operations. MWUN President General Adewale Adeyanju made this known at the 2024 Dock Workers' Day in Lagos. Adeyanju appealed to the federal government to ensure the signing of the long overdue licenses, emphasizing the importance of responsible terminal operators. He also urged terminal operators to continue training maritime workers and engaging qualified personnel. The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adeboyega Oyetola, assured that the ministry, in conjunction with the Nigerian Ports Authority, is working to reposition the nation's ports through modernization. Oyetola stated that this move would address the dilapidating state of port structures, enhance efficiency, and ensure competitiveness in the global maritime space. Oyetola further assured that the federal government will continue to create an enabling environment by gaps in the maritime sector to ensure service delivery and encourage private sector participation. The president of the Shipping Correspondents Association of Nigeria, SCAN, Eugene Aga, noted that the creation of the separate ministry for the marine and blue economy sector is a step towards optimizing the benefits of the country's ocean endowment. Aga emphasized the importance of dock workers in translating the port to exploit marine potentials into economic wealth. The House of Representatives Public Accounts Committee has directed Guaranty Trust Bank to calculate and remit a value-added tax on commission received from remitter transactions between 2015 and 2022 to the federal government. The committee, chaired by Bamidele Salam, issued a directive during an ongoing investigation into alleged revenue leakages through the remitter platform. The investigation is also examining instances of non-compliance with standard operating procedures and other related service agreements. GTB's Executive Director Ahmed Liman admitted that the bank had not remitted the VAT for 8 years, assuming the remitter had done the necessary remittance before sharing the fees. The committee raised concerns about the non-remittance of VAT during the initial phase of remitter in transactions. The committee ordered GTB to calculate and remit the VAT on commission fees received through the platform from 2015 to 2022 into the federal government recovery accounts domiciled with the Central Bank of Nigeria. Representatives from other banks, including Keystone, Zenith Bank, and Sterling Bank, also appeared before the committee on the same matter. The committee referred these banks to ease reconciliation to resolve discrepancies in their submissions. They are expected to reconcile the issues and will be giving a new date to reappear before the committee. Traders in Lagos have denied inflating prices of goods, instead blame police extortion, energy and petrol price hikes for the high prices. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, recently campaigned against exploitative pricing, but traders claim they are responsible to operational costs. Kafayat Ibukunle, Secretary General of Mosan Okunola Local Council Development Area Markets, said market women were wrongly accused of inflating prices, citing petrol costs and unofficial road taxes. Ibikunle explained that energy costs such as fuel for frozen goods further affected prices, making it impossible for these sellers to cut down prices. The FCCP's CEO Tunji Bello acknowledged the challenges and urged market sellers, supermarket owners and manufacturers to work together to ensure fairness in prices. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC, has taken a drastic measure of shutting its petrol application portal, suspending fresh orders due to a huge backlog that has left marketers stranded. The portal, which is a primary channel for marketers to bid for petrol, has been inaccessible, leaving many unable to purchase the product. This move has further exacerbated the already dire fuel crisis gripping the nation. Independent marketers who operate over 70% of filling stations or filling stations nationwide are owned billions of naira by NNPC for petrol they paid for but never received. This has forced them to resort to patronizing private depot, which sell at higher prices, thereby increasing the burden on consumers. The NNPC has attributed the shutdown to a significant backlog, which has made it necessary to prevent the company from holding marketers' capital for an extended period. However, the exact amount of backlog remains undisclosed. This development comes on the heels of a persistent fuel crisis, which has seen petrol prices soar to unaffordable heights, ranging from 855 naira to 1,000 naira per litre. The situation has led to double transportation costs across the nation, further complicating the lives of already beleaguered Nigerians. As the fuel queues slowly subside, the price of petrol remains a significant concern, with many Nigerians struggling to make ends meet. The NNPC's move has only added to the uncertainty, leaving marketers and consumers alike wondering when the situation will be resolved. The National Vice President of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Herman Fashola, had previously raised concerns about the distribution pattern, calling for a review to prioritize IPMAN members. His concerns were dismissed by NNPC at the time, but the current situation has brought the issue to the forefront once again. As the nation struggles to come to terms with the fuel crisis, one thing is clear: the NNPC's shutdown of its petrol portal has only added fuel to the fire, leaving many others to wonder what the future holds for Nigeria's fuel supply. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. Stay connected on Atn socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X, formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. The National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion, NOTAP, has stated that inventors of creative intellectual properties can only hold exclusive rights to their work for 20 years. After this period, the invention will be transferred to the public domain and can be used by any individual, according to NOTAP Director General Obiageli Amadiobi. Amadiobi disclosed this at a press conference commemorating the African Day for Technology and Intellectual Properties in Abuja. She emphasized the importance of technology and intellectual property rights systems in nation building and wealth creation, stressing that intellectual rights awaken the creative ability of inventors. Amadiobi noted that the commemoration seeks to arouse the talent, creativity, and inventive spirit of young inventors and innovators to support the development of indigenous inventive solutions. The African Development Bank, AFDB, has successfully launched a $2 billion 5-year social benchmark bond set to mature on September 18, 2029. The bond, issued under AFDB's Sustainable Bond Framework, features a coupon of 3,500% and a reoffer yield of 3.574%. The issuance coincides with AFDB's 60th anniversary and represents its second USD global benchmark for 2024. The bond received strong investor interest with a final order book exceeding $3.7 billion and 66 investors participating. The success of the transaction demonstrates investor confidence in AFDB's AAA credit and its sustainable bond framework. The Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, has appealed to aviation workers to reconsider their planned nationwide protest scheduled for September 18, 2024. Keyamo pleaded with the workers to give the government more time to attend to their demands, assuring them that the president is actively examining the matter. Aviation unions plan to protest the 50% deduction policy from internally generated revenues of agencies in the aviation sector, which they claim has placed a financial strain on critical safety and operational needs. The Ministry of Aviation has scheduled a meeting with union leaders for September 17, 2024 to address the grievances and find a mutually beneficial solution. The minister expressed optimism about the upcoming discussions and appealed to the unions to allow for dialogue to take place instead of proceeding with the protest. Africa is facing a critical healthcare challenge as a deadline for achieving universal health coverage approaches. Despite efforts to improve healthcare systems, the continent still lags behind in key areas. Dr. Alan Pamba, Executive Vice President of Diagnostics Africa at Roche Diagnostics, emphasized the need for increased investment in healthcare infrastructure, diagnostics, essential medicines, workforce capacity, and health technologies. The African Union's Abuja Declaration aimed to allocate 15% of national budgets to healthcare, but only 2 countries have met this target. Optimizing existing health budgets and exploring new funding streams is crucial to achieving UHC. With only 5 years left to meet the 2030 deadline, African countries must prioritize healthcare investment to ensure accessible and quality healthcare for all citizens. The consequences of inaction could be devastating, leaving millions without essential health services. You're watching Atn Business on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back to Atn Business on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. Britain's competition watchdog, the UK Competition and Market Authority CMA, has raised concerns about a proposed merger between Vodafone and Three UK, citing potential price increases and reduced services for customers. The CMA warned that the deal would lead to a substantial lessening of competition in the UK's retail and wholesale mobile markets, affecting tens of millions of customers. The regulator also expressed concerns about the impact on mobile virtual network operations, which rely on existing infrastructure. Vodafone and CK Hutchinson's proposed merger would give Vodafone a 51% controlling stake in the combined business. The CMA may block the merger if its concerns are not addressed, but Vodafone is willing to work with the regulator to address its concerns and make infrastructure investment promises legally binding. The UK government has had constructive talks with Elon Musk's social media site X over the spread of misinformation and harmful content, according to Technology Minister Peter Kyle. The governor has been in contact with all major social media platforms, including X, over the summer to discuss misinformation and harmful material. Kyle said the conversations have been productive despite differences in views and emphasized the need for social media companies to respect the UK's expectations for keeping people safe online. The talks come after misinformation spread online following a knife attack in northwest England, leading to far-right riots and calls for greater regulation of social media. The UK government is assessing whether additional powers are needed to regulate social media companies, with the Online Safety Act set to give regulator Ofcom the power to fine firms up to 10% of their global annual revenues. The government is also considering summoning Musk to face questions from MPs over his platform's role in spreading harmful content. Labour's Kyle hinted that summoning Musk would be a last resort, but emphasized the need for innovators like Musk to have a respectful relationship with the UK. The Online Safety Act is set to be implemented in early 2025, but campaigners are calling for it to be expedited to help tackle the spread of misinformation. European stocks surged on Friday, with the Stoxx 600 index up 0.54% as investors welcomed the European Central Bank's decision to cut interest rates. The ECB's move, its second rate cut this year, brought its key interest rate to 3.5% and signaled a more dovish stance on monetary policy. Autos and retail stocks led the gains, rising 1.35% and 1.31% respectively, while travel and leisure stocks dipped 0.12%. The ECB's decision comes ahead of the U.S. Federal Reserve's meeting next week, where a rate cut is expected, and follows a mixed session in Asia-Pacific markets. French inflation data showed a decline to 1.8% in August, indicating easy price pressure in the region. Investors are now focusing on the Fed's meeting, where a rate cut could further boost market sentiment. The ECB's rate cut has also sparked hopes of a more coordinated global monetary policy, easing supporting economic growth. U.S. Treasury yields declined on Friday as investors awaited the Federal Reserve's interest rate decision next week. The 10-year Treasury yield fell 3 basis points to 3.649%, while the 2-year yield dropped nearly 6 basis points to 3.591%. Market expectations suggest a 59% chance of a 12 basis point rate cut and a 41% probability of a 50 basis points reduction. Recent economic data, including consumer and producer price indexes, support the case for a rate cut, indicating easing inflationary pressures. Investors will watch for import and export price data and consumer sentiment insight on Friday, ahead of the Fed's meeting on Tuesday and Wednesday. This is where we wrap it up on this edition of Atn Business on Atlantic Television Network, here in the city of Port Harcourt. I am Wendy Aguma. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. Stay connected on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Up next is ATN Politics with Ray Ken. Thank you for watching and good afternoon.